Hi, I'm Jenny Muller and I'm back with Thermomix here today to show you the differences between the Thermomix TM5 and the Thermomix TM6. The TM5 came standard with a basic cookbook recipe chip, allowing access to guided cooking when the chip is in place. Wi-Fi connectivity is available through the cook key for the TM5, which sits in place of where that recipe chip goes and allows access to the Thermomix guided recipe platform Cookie-Doo. The TM6 has the basic cookbook recipes already preloaded, and with its modes and built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, it offers much more by way of assisted cooking options. High heat mode with the TM6 is accessible through the Cookie-Doo collections. The TM5 has a 6.1-inch LCD touchscreen. The TM6 has been upgraded to a 6.8-inch LCD touchscreen, and this has the capacity for swipe interaction, very similar to your smart device, and instructional videos are able to be played directly on the screen of your Thermomix. The TM5's integrated scales go in 5 gram increments, while the TM6 is 1 gram. The TM5 boasts several functions of which Thermomix is well known for, and it also included 3 automated recipes for custard, yogurt or rice. The TM6 has all of these functions built in, however, replacing those automated recipes is the modes function. While the TM5 goes up to 120 degrees, the TM6 goes all the way up to 160, with those high heat options being available via Cookie-Doo collections. While both models come with a basic cookbook, the TM6 basic cookbook has had a refresh, with lots of changes making way for all of the recipes featuring the new TM6 modes. The measuring cup, otherwise known as the MC, has seen an upgrade with the TM6. The new construction actually clicks directly into the lid, and its softer, high-grade silicone material also allows it to be just that little bit quieter when you're cooking, as it doesn't shake around. Welcome to the stage, the new TM6 spatula. This is one of my favourite upgrades. This has actually been given a little bit of flex. I know, look at it go. So the TM6 spatula, when compared with the TM5, actually moves quite a bit more, meaning it's far more convenient to get in and around the bowl, scraping out all of those delicious little extra bits of dip. While we're talking about makeovers, we don't mess with a good thing, and the butterfly is exactly the same for the TM5 and the TM6. The new TM6 basket is the same, but with a hat. It's got a little lid that stops you from overfilling it, also allows you to do some convenient things such as sous videing directly into that basket and stopping it from floating up to the top. It is recommended with your TM6 that you pop the simmering basket in place of the MC when you're cooking over 95 degrees. While the TM5 had a sort of clear lid, the TM6 is streamlined to that beautiful grey. Both TM5 and TM6 are both compatible with the blade cover peeler and the cutter attachment. However, with the TM5, you have to do it all manually, and you'll need to read the instructions, I guess, to make sure that you're using it correctly, whereas it's all built in a mode for the TM6. The TM6 comes with a splatter guard that sits in place of both the measuring cup or the simmering basket and locks into place during the high heat. The TM6 has also seen the mixing bowl get a little safety feature to prevent flooding, where if the blades are not correctly in place, it actually won't start the Thermomix. Both the TM5 and TM6 are operated using time, temperature and speed. Along the bottom of the TM5, you've got the home screen, the scales, the additional options which includes the dough function, the turbo, the timer, pre-clean, and you'll also get a lock on there as well. The reverse is available for the blades on the right hand side on that button. As you'll see, the TM6 is a simple swipe and you get access to all of the modes, of which there's quite a few more. To access any of your recipes on the TM5, you go through My Recipes on the home menu, and you can go in there and you'll see created collections, saved collections and bookmarks.
you've got a few different ways of sorting them so that you can view them. If you have something that might have been saved to one of your collections and it's not actually accessible at the moment, it would be because either the recipe chip that it came from or your cook key or cookie do account may not be attached to the Thermomix. On the TM6, you still access your saved recipes through that My Recipes tab, except this time you'll also note you have saved collections, created collections, and created recipes. So as you can see in these beautiful pretty pictures on the screen, actually are showing the recipes on my Thermomix that I have created and saved through my Cookie Do account. Some of these are on the recipe community and some of them are recipes that you'll find in Cookie Do that I've just modified to cook them my way, because sometimes I like to do my own thing. So you can actually save all of those and view them, but the really cool thing about the TM6 is it gives you all of those beautiful images. Now these are not completely guided, but they are what I would refer to as assisted cooking. So the information still comes up on the screen. So if you were used to using an iPad or a piece of paper printed out to follow the recipe, you don't have to lose where you're at. It's very convenient. So we can see on the screen at the moment all of the saved collections that I have. And under the saved collections, you can see any of the recipes that you've saved the entire collection of. So it might be a cookie do collection or it may be a cookbook that you've saved. In my case, I save those I use often. Accessing my week and your meal planning in either the TM5 or TM6 is quite straightforward. However, with the TM5, you're quite limited in the options that you have and the amount of interactions you can do. Obviously, the details on that smaller screen do limit you and can be a little bit fiddly. However, if you had a cook key and were able to have a Wi-Fi connection at some point through the Cookie Do account, you may have had the update on the software allowing you to use a hotkey where you can click throughout the recipe and go straight to that step. The TM6 My Week and meal plan is really quite detailed, and you can go through and see past ones by clicking on the calendar. You can do things like add it to your shopping list, change the day that you're saving that recipe to, and obviously when you look at the recipe itself, it is quite detailed, quite large on the screen, and it really is almost like reading from a recipe book if you want it to be. Saying that, all of those hotkeys are also easy for you to work and navigate through, and you have options while you're actually in the middle of a recipe in order to preview upcoming steps, or if you want to, you can do things like access the scales depending on what it is that you're actually cooking at the time, which can be super handy. You can bookmark with both Thermomixes. And also both Thermomixes will allow you to go through your recently cooked. However, obviously having those pictures and it's such a smooth interface that it's really easy to navigate your way through and see if you're like me and you're lazy, you don't want to look something up. Usually it's in my recently cooked and that's where I'll go. And it's time to speed date our way through the modes, starting with the scales that are at a 1 gram increment. Moving on to quite an unsung hero, the chop function. What's super cool about this is you don't need to give any brain power to what you're chopping and how long you need to chop it for. So no more accidentally, making milk when you were trying to chop something fine and you went too far. You can actually be told what to do. Over to the dough function and the turbo, those ones are quite similar, and you use that silver selector just to set the timing on how long you want. And then if we move over to the pre-clean, you'll note that there is a browning and a caramel function as well for that. And that is because the TM6 goes up to 160 degrees. So obviously the results you're getting are going to be different. The blend is fantastic for any nervous Nellies who don't feel quite comfortable, or even just the automated function of being able to have it slowly adjust to blend on its own. Egg boiler allows you to choose the setting that you want. Really, really cool to note that the blades do not turn while it's cooking, so you can pop those eggs directly into the bowl. The kettle is perfect for anyone who drinks tea or needs the temperature set to a specific amount, It is really quite quick and extremely convenient because of that specific temperature. Now, when you're warming up in the TM6, this is also really, really handy because you can set the temp to warm it up and reheat something that you've already cooked in the bowl. Thicken mode is perfect for your custards and gravies, and it's really versatile depending what it is that you want to make, as is the rice cooker. So that actually is a rice and grain, and again you can access all of the information as to what to add and when, and there's quite a bit as far as cookie dough settings are concerned. Fermentation, you can do your yogurts and a bit more, and the slow cook is the one that blows me away because all of your prep is also done in the bowl, saving the cleanup massively. You can sous vide in the Thermomix TM6. Again, the blades don't move, which is fantastic. And these are all the settings now for your peeler, which is a blade cover peeler that attachment you would use, and also the grating and the slicing attachment, all of which come with the options for you to choose the type that you're after, whether it's thick or thin, and they also have the instructions on there. Along the top, you'll notice that you can add the Thermomix timer in there, and you do also have options to rearrange the view. So if you've got things you don't use at all, maybe you're not into sous vide, you can move it out of the way. Or if you've got a function that you guys use all the time, you can move it to the top, which makes it super handy, so you can hide and show things as you need. So this is just another intuitive way in which the TM6 just becomes really quite effortless to include itself as a really valuable member of your kitchen. It's very much worth noting that the created recipes that you access through the My Recipes screen actually come up quite differently to how guided recipes do. However, they're really, really convenient when it comes to being able to cook recipes your way or do your own recipes that you know and love. So as you can see, you can read the entire recipe and any hints and tips, and you can see my face is on the screen there, and that's because this is a recipe that I've edited and added under my collections. So I've got a fantastic recipe for chicken, cheese and veggie nuggets that I have saved from the recipe community, and that recipe, again, I can save it in there. If I want to start cooking, you'll see that the screen comes up just a little bit different. It gives me instructions, and on the right hand side at the bottom, it'll actually give you the option to pull up the scales, tell you what you need to weigh and how much, and gives you the options to bring up the time, temperature and speed. It is very handy. You can still access your timer. You can add these recipes using cookiedough.com.au or the app. Once they've been uploaded to your Cookie Dough account, they're then available on your TM6 when it connects to Wi-Fi. Accessing Cookie Dough on the TM6 is seamless and very easy to navigate through. To access Cookie Dough, you just tap on the magnifying glass on the top right hand side of the screen, and it'll bring up the option for you to search. You can use either recipes or collections to search through, and you get the beautiful images that the 6 gives you access to that will pop up. We can filter what it is that we want to have a look at, being able to change with the flexibility of everything that you really find on the app or Cookie Dough directly on your screen. You can alter the view in which the options come up for you and look at them by the best rated recipes or maybe the most relevant to your selection. Continuing with that convenience, you can also update the filters of the recipes that do come up in your search. So maybe you want to see things that are only coming from Australia, you can have that option. As you can see, I've got selected here. Or you might want to view other recipes that are from any country. As long as it's English, you can update that filter. You can look via category, such as breakfasts or drinks, or maybe you're looking for a vegetarian dish. You can also use tags as well to help with it. The convenience and ease of accessing so much of the Cookie Dough content directly from your TM6 means you no longer need to have the inconvenience of pulling out another device. Not to leave it out, you can do incredible things with the 160 degrees that the TM6 reaches, meaning you can do all of that amazing candy work, honeycomb, but you can also get a sear on your meat, caramelization on those onions, and it makes such a difference.
Depending on when you first looked into the TM5 versus the TM6, you may have felt there wasn't a massive difference. The TM6 has continued to be developed, and over time, it just keeps getting better and better, and the differences keep moving further apart. Why is that? Because the TM6 is packed with a whole bunch of innovation, and it's got the capacity to continue to be developed and added to. The functions, the way that the modes have been integrated in so that you just don't even have to put that brain power to it. You know how to do something by muscle memory? Well, it's very easy to do the same thing in your Thermomix now. That really is the key difference as to why the TM6 is so superior. It is easy for you to adapt how you cook and the things that you like to do, the way you like to do it, and the TM6 meets you where you are. And that's a wrap. Thanks for watching.